Let's look at how Docker makes CI/CD much more efficient. It literally changed how CI/CD is done, and it's pretty awesome. So let's think of these boxes as different environments: dev, test, and prod. And normally, traditionally, the way it works is developer will put their code, right? Developers will put it into GitHub, and the CI/CD pipeline will pick up the code. Let's say it's in master, right? We merge it into master. We're going to take the master branch and we're going to deploy it to dev. Then everything is good, tests are passed. We're going to take that branch and deploy it to test. Then if everything is good, tests passed, we're going to take that branch and deploy it to prod. But there is time that passes by. Let's say we deploy to test at 1 o'clock. The master branch deploys to test at 1 o'clock. It takes 30 minutes to finish all the tests and everything. And by 1:30, we deploy to prod. Between 1 o'clock and 1:30, a new code might have been checked into master. Right? So at 1:30, when we deploy it to prod, we're not necessarily deploying exact same code that was tested prior to deploying to prod. At 1:15, something new has been added. So that's a risk. Somebody has to manage that. Somebody has to make sure we don't merge anything into master. Somebody has to make sure we don't deploy to prod if we've never been tested. But when you come to the Docker world, the difference is developer still puts their code into GitHub, but we're not going to go ahead and deploy the code into GitHub. We're not going to do that into a dev environment. What we're going to do is we're going to have a process in between, in the middle. We're going to basically build image. So the process is going to be, when the code is deployed, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the image. We build the image and we're going to store the image in the registry, a Docker registry. Docker registry is a place where images live. Once the image is built, we're going to deploy that image to dev. Everything is good to go. Everything is a pass. We're going to tell the next job, we're going to give it the name of the image. So exact image is going to be deployed to test. Once the test is done, 30 minutes, exact image is going to be deployed to prod. So it doesn't matter, new code is being added. Once the image is built, we know the image doesn't change. So this is the same exact code that we're just going to move around wherever we want to. So once the image is built, the same exact image gets deployed to the different environments. That way we know for sure what we're deploying to prod is exactly the same code what was deployed in test. That guarantees us. So Docker just makes things a lot easier. In addition to that, when we want to revert something, we want to go to the previous version. If we deployed image number 1.2, all we have to do is just deploy image number 1.1. We just got to revert to the previous image instead of dealing with git revert and all of that. Makes life a lot easier. So that's just a quick example of how Docker makes CI/CD much more powerful. And I'm going to make a lot more videos about this. So make sure you give me a follow. My name is Admas Kungfu. I run supersqa.com. I help people become SDET, software engineer in test, in the more modern era.